Oscar Piastri is on an absolute roll this season and looks like the favourite for the championship. He has 4 wins out of 8 races, the most of any driver in 2025, along with 4 pole positions, and is currently leading the World Championship. He's emerged as one of the most rapidly progressing young drivers of the decade. So let's take a look at the meteoric rise of Oscar Piastri and how he looks set to make his mark in the F1 history books in 2025. Born in Melbourne, Australia, Oscar boasts a diverse heritage: Italian, Chinese, Scottish, and Irish, which basically means he has a lot of home races. His father is an entrepreneur and owns an automotive software and hardware company, while his mother is a homemaker. Unlike most drivers, Oscar began his racing journey with remote-controlled cars, even competing at the national level, before transitioning to karting. After racing in Australia, he moved to England to further his karting career. He didn't have the flashy karting record that guys like George Russell or Lando Norris had, but he was undeniably quick and a fierce competitor. But it was in single-seaters where Oscar truly shone, speedrunning his way through every junior category. He began his single-seater career in the British F4 Championship and finished an impressive second. He then moved to Formula Renault in 2018 and finished 8th, which felt a bit underwhelming. It took him some time to adapt to the new car and compete against more experienced drivers in the category. He decided to stay in Formula Renault for another year and came out absolutely swinging in 2019. He won the championship, beating Victor Martins and scoring 7 victories. That title put him on the radar of F1 teams, and Renault immediately signed him to their junior program. He went on to win the Formula 3 title in 2020, once again proving his pure talent and sharp racing instincts. But the title-winning run didn't stop there. The following year, he claimed the Formula 2 championship in dominant fashion, beating much more experienced drivers. He also became the first driver in history to win 3 consecutive junior titles. Despite these remarkable achievements and showcasing exceptional talent, Oscar was unable to secure an F1 seat for 2022. Alpine kept him as a reserve driver and continued with Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon in their lineup. And while at the time, Oscar may have felt neglected or sidelined, considering where he is now and where Alpine is, even he would probably agree it turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to him. He definitely dodged a bullet there. He was later signed by McLaren as a replacement for the underperforming Daniel Ricciardo, following a series of unusual events now known as Oscargate. Oscar's debut F1 season started a bit rough, with McLaren being one of the slowest cars on the grid. But in the second half of the year, with an improved car, Oscar secured his first win in the Qatar sprint race and added 2 more podiums. In 2024, Oscar showed clear progress, claiming his maiden Grand Prix win in Hungary and another victory in Baku. He also scored 6 additional podiums. And while it all looked impressive for just his second season, he still seemed noticeably behind his teammate in terms of performance, especially in qualifying. Lando Norris fought for the championship and finished second, while Oscar ended the season 4th in the standings. And this year, Oscar has truly been in the zone. The season began a bit scrappy. He lost out on a podium and a lot of points at his home race in Australia after losing the car on a wet track. But he bounced back brilliantly in China, taking pole and winning the main race. That was followed by a solid 3rd place in Japan, and then a streak of 3 consecutive wins in Bahrain, Jeddah, and Miami. He added 2 more 3rd place finishes in Imola and Monaco before returning to the top step in Spain. So far, he's only missed the podium in 1 round. The performances he's delivering are nothing short of phenomenal, especially considering it's only his 3rd season in F1. Now, coming to the main question, can Oscar beat his more experienced teammate Lando Norris for the championship? As much as I hate to say it, the answer is yes, he can. This year, Oscar seems to be operating on an incredibly high level. Now, I still rate Lando very highly, but it kind of seems like Lando has fallen slightly behind. Lando just doesn't seem to have a consistent answer for Oscar at the moment. Another issue with Lando is that he tends to be overly critical of himself for even minor mistakes, and that seems to affect him mentally. At times, he also doesn't appear fully comfortable in the car and has openly voiced concerns about its performance. There are circuits where Lando is incredibly strong, and Oscar will need to stay sharp. But there are also tracks where Lando tends to struggle, whether due to bad luck or self-inflicted errors. We've yet to see a proper head-to-head duel between the two on track, but it feels like it's only a matter of time. One of Oscar's biggest improvements has come in qualifying, an area that was a weakness for him last year. Between Lando and Oscar, I believe the championship won't be decided by who gets more wins, but by who makes fewer mistakes. And then there's the follow-up question, can Oscar keep Max behind if Red Bull becomes more competitive in the second half of the season? Honestly, there's no clear answer for this. Max, in equally competitive machinery, is an unstoppable force. It's hard for anyone to challenge him consistently, especially in tricky wet conditions where he thrives. But with a stronger car in the first half, if Oscar can build a big enough gap, he might be able to hold Max off when the Red Bull improves later in the season. Oscar has already managed to beat Max in Jeddah and Miami, but lost out in Imola, so it won't be easy. Right now, Oscar has a 51-point lead over Max, and all he needs to do is keep doing what he's doing. There's no need to force things. Max is currently being held back by Red Bull's lack of performance, and this is Oscar's chance to capitalise. The upcoming tracks are ones where McLaren has looked strong in previous years, so Oscar should use that to his advantage and try to stretch the lead even further. The only real threat to his title hopes would be if he falls too far behind Lando, in which case the team might be forced to choose which driver to prioritise, especially if rivals start catching up. So Oscar needs to be cautious on that front too. Lando is gaining ground, and some of the upcoming circuits are ones where he's traditionally been very strong, so Oscar will need to bring something extra. In the end, with the way Oscar is performing and how his rivals are shaping up, this championship feels like his to lose. He drives with remarkable smoothness, keeps his composure under pressure, and stays out of drama, both on and off the track. Unlike Lando, he doesn't beat himself up over mistakes. He quietly learns and improves where needed. With radical new regulations set to kick in next year, this might be Oscar's best shot at a championship. It's a golden opportunity with the fastest car on the grid, and who knows when or if such a chance will come again. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on Oscar's chances this season, and I'll see you guys in the next video.